What are we gonna speak in this one? Like,
I
so
think we
this.
should introduce ourselves first.
Okay, so my name is Alarm without R,
Of course.
and we are like I'm student in University of Manitoba, and I mean personally we like to talk about things in general. We talk for hours and days sometimes for any reason. So I was wondering why not do it with public so they can also hear our thoughts. Some of them are gonna be a bit harsh, some of them are, maybe you won't like it, maybe you will like it, but this channel is gonna be mostly as a podcast and commentary about something that we'll choose a topic and we'll discuss on it. So I would pass the mic on to Shad so he can also introduce himself, and then we're gonna start with today's topic and put our views. You can also write your views in comment, like, subscribe. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Well, my name is Muhammad Shad. I'm also a student at University of Manitoba. And yes, as Alam said, that we are gonna take bunch of topics or a topic, and we are gonna discuss that how this topic is relatable to us and yours life as well. And yeah, let's start, I guess.
Sure. So few days back I was wondering, like, when you go out to work or when you go out in real world, everyone is trying to control you to some extent. Like, maybe it might be your parents, maybe it might be your boss, maybe it might be anyone, to be honest, that is trying to constantly control you and trying to put their thoughts in your head so you can obey them. Maybe you can get control. I don't know what can happen. So today's topic is a very general topic, that can a human, we know that animal can be controlled, especially domestic animals, but can a human be controlled? Like, actually, can you put your will into some other person somehow, somewhat, so they don't know that they are doing what you wanted to do? Or maybe forcefully, can you control them in long term? That's our topic for today. So, firstly, I would like to ask Shad, what is your point of view on this one?
Well, I would like to put some light on this topic first. Like, yeah, of course, we are being controlled by numerous factors which are running in our day-to-day life, and it, like as Alam said, that it can be our parents, boss, co-workers, our friends, our relatives, and whatnot. And these are the human factors. There are, in general, factors like peer pressure, like your choices, like your thoughts, your mental state, your financial state, that influence how you are gonna behave and how is your day gonna be like. So yeah, I also think that humans are controlled by all of these factors, and we can say that we are being connected to each other in some way.
To be honest, I have a very weird take on this particular topic. Like, let's say, can a human be controlled? Now we have to elaborate on the topic, that what does controlling here means. Does it mean that you try to influence them to some extent, you try to encourage them to do your work, or you try to forcefully? There can be a thousand methods, as like human history has also suggested. Like, if you can look back 1,000 years, slavery has also been existed. People were trying to control and make another people, like any kind of people, as slaves. So that was also one kind of controlling, that they do not give freedom to someone. And, like, to be honest, I think freedom should be the birthright of everyone. Everyone should be born free, and they shouldn't be controlled. But here comes an important part. Like, when you try to run or govern something, or when you try to run an organization, maybe you try to run, I don't know, a country, maybe you try to run anything, you need people who follow you,
Of course.
who to some extent I would say to obey you without question, so you can make decisions. So they need to follow you. Now, in what do I believe can it be done? I think, yeah, it can be done. You can 100% control a human, but I don't think it's gonna be a very easy thing to do. Like I want to say, like it would be a very hard thing to do actually, to control a human being to attain your needs. What do you think? Like, how can a human be controlled?
Um, First of all, as you said, that freedom should exist, but the reality is we don't have any kind of freedom at all.
Sorry to
Like,
pause you. I feel like laughing. It is our first podcast because we are not used to
like,
talking like this.
of course, but if you say, like, you are born into a family, you have parents, they have control over you for a certain period of time.
That is true.
After a certain point of time, you go to school, and you make friends.
Yeah.
You are being controlled by the factors that plays an important role of how you grow up,
Okay.
like peer pressure kind of thing, because it matters what kind of friends you have and how they influence you or how you influence them. So freedom doesn't exist over there as well.
That is true.
After that, you get yourself a wife or you get yourself a girl, and you are being controlled by them. Of course,
That is
like
true.
you don't have any kind of freedom over there as well. After that, you get married, you got kids, you or I say, in meanwhile you are struggling with your academics and your job as well. So you are
Yes.
controlled by your boss, you are controlled by the system the government or the world has made, the money.
Yeah.
You are just running a race where you you are being just controlled by the money, by the financial factors and all of that. And after that, you got kids, you have to raise your kids. You don't have freedom at all. Like, you don't. So yes, that's why I said that humans cannot be controlled.
Actually, that's a very good point. Like, from the moment you wake up, or from the moment you're born to the moment you die, you are under the influence of some kind of like your environment, people around you, maybe what you watch, maybe what you listen to, maybe what you read. It can be any of those stuff that can influence you, to be honest. But, and to an extent, I believe like the best way, a mass gathering of people, like a mass, like big numbers of people to be controlled, how it happens in maybe India or US, is by fake propagandas. So they don't let us see the truth of what exactly is going on in at the same place at the same time, and then they just show us something totally different, and then we look at it and we say, yeah, we support the cause that what the government is working for, but on the other hand we don't even know the truth, so we cannot make a good decision of what we are supporting. That happens all around the world. I'm not biased towards any of them. Maybe that might be government of Israel, government of Middle East, government of India, or any kind of like influence about celebrities or maybe some athletes or stories about them. We do not know the full picture. And I think to one extent, this is how you control a human, by pushing a mass propaganda on someone so they can be like they don't know the truth, so they are not actually consciously making the decision. They are actually making the decision based on the half knowledge that they have. Just like yesterday we were playing at casino, we don't know what we are playing, the blackjack. We don't know what's the card is dealt by the dealer, what's the other card is, so we always assume it's going to be 10. But it what if it isn't 10? You don't know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
you
get
make
it.
decision based on half knowledge, and that's how people can influence you if you don't do your research. But here the point, the topic is, if I ask you one thing, tomorrow you have to control one person. Let's say there is someone you think he's a good person and he can be beneficial to your needs.
Okay.
How are you going to control them?
That's a really good question. Like, uh, first of all,
Can
it
we please
depends.
start the recording? I'm paranoid.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, it's a really good question, and my answer to this is that it depends at what position you are. Like, if you are an influencer, or if you are if you are at a position where there is a significant amount of influence that you will have, and then you can do it like in couple of minutes.
But you didn't get my question. What I asked is like,
How?
if there is a person and I tell you you have to control him. By controlling I means what he wants, he shall do what he wants. Or what you want, he shall do it. Or she shall do it. Like,
Well,
how would you control?
first of all, I'll create a situation where the person will not have any choice to disobey me.
For example.
For example, I'll starve him, and then I'll say that this is the food we have, this is the only food we have, and you have to eat this. And then he or she will not have any choice to not obey me.
Holy shit, that is narcissistic.
I mean, that's how
No,
the
I didn't
market
know
works.
really.
Like, you create the scarcity, you create the demand, and supply it is.
That is true, but
That's how it works.
if somebody would ask me that if I want to control a human, do I believe a human can be controlled by manipulations and by like what he said? To be honest, to some extent, yeah. Like to some point, like let's say, to a certain extent, they can be controlled. But if you want it for a long term and a beneficial relationship, you cannot control them with, just as what you said, manipulations or stuff like that. Because as you know, if you take examples of maybe like any rulers who thought they're gonna rule for like years and days and stuff like that, they were being, some were being narcissistic, some were being manipulative, some were just like using raw power to dominate the other people. How has it worked out for them? Do you ever see that they have been leaders in power for long by doing that? If you take examples of maybe the last Ottoman Empire, or maybe Roman Empire, or maybe you take examples of like modern day Hitler, or maybe you take examples of like Mao Zedong, or maybe you take examples of Stalin or Lenin, or any of those people who thought that if you being cruel to someone, if you being like, if you being how do I say it, if you being like, sorry guys, somebody's calling me, I don't know who that
And you
is.
should have phone, or you should have put your phone or laptop or whatever it is on silent mode. You're recording a podcast, man.
That is true.
Well, for now, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
That is,
but I didn't
why?
finish. Wait. So
Okay, okay.
It did not last longer, to be honest. That can we check recording? Is it still recording?
I mean, it should. It should.
It should. Yeah, it is. Indeed, it is.
Yeah. Like, like 15 minutes max. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. You were saying something.
Yeah, I mean, I think with soul power or with soul manipulation, there is only a certain amount of time you can control a person, or certain length of time you can control a person. For example, maybe if you're very strong, so you will rule, your son will rule, but eventually people are going to fed up with that and they would rebel.
Of course.
If we look up in our day-to-day relationships, like for example, everybody here is once or more heartbroken. So so you realize after a while that even though you love them, even though you cry for them many times, but eventually you learn to not do it, and then you grow like, what the fuck I was doing? What was it all about? And then they get out of the spell, and then they hate you forever for the rest of their good life. So I think how a person can be controlled, pay attention. I think how a person can be controlled is by only showing the genuine cause, and only a person that will be controlled by this method will only be the one who shares same cause as me. For example, if I be genuinely nice to you, like not for any advantage, and not for, maybe I get advantage but not for any advantage consciously.
Mhm.
I tend to your needs, I be your friend, I be a good person to you, I show some leadership skills and stuff like that, then I think a person can be controlled in that way, by saying, by being a good person to them, by being a nice person to them, so they genuinely feel that this is a good person and we can trust him to follow.
That's
That's
been
how.
that's been charismatic.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
Being charismatic, yeah, that's a part of deal.
Yeah, that's true. That's totally correct. And for me, somewhat this works because when you are being nice to each other or to the people around you, you can, I mean, not indirectly, but you can take advantage of it. You can get your things done. You can get your work done. You can do anything.
That is true.
Maybe to a certain limit, but you can.
You can do it, yeah.
And I would like to ask you a question over here. Like, throughout the period, why do people need power? Is it just to control people, or why do people need power? Why do leaders are crazy about it? Why do kings were crazy about it?
I mean, I can answer that question, but we'll discuss this in next podcast too. But I'll give you a short answer. Like, what I think, why do we crave power, or why do we crave control over someone, especially that in a certain way, is, I think that goes back to the very back. For example, like survival of the fittest, like at the back where humans were no more than an animal. I think at that time people were living in packs, because that's how humanity survives. You cannot be a lone person, like just like cows or buffaloes or sheeps, goats. Humans are also social animal.
Of course.
It's not that, yeah, there can be some exceptions who can be like a lone person, but most of us are social. We thrive on being social, how we talk to someone, how we share our feelings, and that's how the humanity survives. So in order to control the chaos, because if, let's say, if every person start thinking on their own, then it's going to create a problem to manage the society. Let's say, for example, if individually you are saying something, let's say you need rice, somebody needs wheat, somebody needs something else, you would never agree upon something that can be sold in store. You are always going to fight. So that's why we need a leader who can make a decision to a certain, like, not to favor certain people, but to be like logical and make a good decision in that scenario. Now here comes the question, why do we crave power? I think not everyone craves power. Sometimes being in power is necessary to control some amount of chaos in community.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is why it is. But if you say, uh, to a bigger extent, does every person who walk on earth craves the power? No, but some of them crave because they want to just go through their day, get their needs done, and not care about anyone else. That's how you do it without stopping in the middle. Let's say, as an international student, how many problems you face during the day?
Not quite a lot, but yeah, I do face problems like everybody does.
Money problems, eating problems, sleeping problems, a thousand kinds of
Yeah,
problems.
academic problems, non academic problems, job, and whatnot. But uh, I'd like to say something over here. Like, basically, what you're trying to say is we let other people's control our life or control us just because we are weak or just because of our weaknesses. Like, for example, uh, our undecisive skills, our not able to take the responsibility for what we do. We just uh, let others take care of it.
That is true. That is true. Like, yeah, like, if you ask me, like, the question you asked me before was why we crave power. To simply put in words is, if somebody craves power, it can only mean one thing, that he wants to dominate people in order to exploit them. That's when somebody craves power. And don't get me wrong, there are very good, powerful people in this world who have existed before, and they were able to deliver the justice to, I mean, the person who are like tortured, or maybe someone has done wrong to him. They were able to get culprits to justice.
Yeah,
But
doing good for the people, doing
doing
good for
good
the
for the people,
community.
yeah, there were so many good leaders who did that. But a person who craves power, like, hey, I want to be in power, I want to be in power, that is the reason he shouldn't be in power, because he thinks power is something that is going to attain to his needs. For example, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm in power, as an international student, I face like eating problems, sleeping problems. So what I'm going to do if I'm in power, I'm going to, maybe he's my roommate, so I'm going to tell him to, like, if I'm in power, somehow I control him, I'm going to tell him to cook food, or maybe I'm going to tell him to wrap my clothes, and I'm going to, so that's how a person like us, or a person like anyone, craves power in order to satisfy their needs for, like, daily life, and in order to satisfy his ego, or maybe dominating someone, he might get pleasure in it with no good. Actually, I mean, that's actually not good if there is someone who craves power. But now, he what was the question you asked me about the
About,
undecisiveness?
yeah, we let other people's control ourselves just because we are weak
That is
or for
true.
our weaknesses.
That is true. Like, think about it. How many times have you been in, like, I know you have been in love once, but let's say,
Mm-hmm.
how many times have you seen around other people that they have been with one woman or one man, and they cannot leave them even though that person is hurting them?
Yeah, just because they don't leave that person because they love. They love that person from their very own heart, and they just don't want to be like alone, or maybe
Yeah, maybe that can be the answer. Like,
because they are being afraid of being alone.
Yeah, they might have their own insecurity. They
Yeah,
might
of course.
but have you seen so many times, just answer me yes or no, that
Hmm.
a woman or a man in a relationship, let's say a woman is cheating or she's doing something, man is good. Now a woman comes and she tells the guy that, let's say, he is like, I cheated on you and this is the sin, this is the thing that's gonna happen, this that, blah blah blah. Now a man might have their own insecurities, right? Like,
Hmm.
what would be an ideal decision to make in this scenario? If my girlfriend comes and she says, I have been unfaithful to you, I have been not loyal, I have been cheating for you in a while, and if you want, you can leave me. What do you think? Should be an ideal answer.
Well, after being in love so hardly, if I have to be in this kind of situation, I would say, okay, take care, bye bye.
That would be an ideal scenario, but
I
people
don't want it. I don't want your shit. Just
go
leave
away.
me alone.
Yeah, people like, they control you with the emotions you feel for them. So for example, if I feel love should be a very sacred thing to say, I mean, I might not be an exact person to explain that, but let's say love should be like, it shouldn't be a way of manipulating someone, especially if they love you back. For example, let's say in this scenario, woman knows that man is not gonna leave even if I say, but he's gonna get hurt. Now he's gonna talk about it to someone, maybe his friends, that he's getting affected by it, he'll cry, he'll do this, he'll do that. But why, here the question is, why can he leave? What can be the reason why he feels controlled by this person, so he's not leaving? What do you think?
Fear is the answer. Fear of loneliness, fear of being alone, fear of being not around with this person.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, like weak people.
Weak people.
If you are weak, because you could have easily gotten out of that situation by just making a decision, by saying her that fuck off. That's what he say, like,
Because you are not trying to understand the fact that she is not with you. She has left you a long while ago.
that is true, and that should be the reason to make a very hard decision. Do you think, like, I have been with couple of women, and you think like this kind of shit comes up, and then do you think every time I feel emotionally attached to someone, I feel like a little bit low for someone, to be honest, do I need to like, do I like to leave them just because they cheated? No. Do I like to leave them? No. But because I know that cheating is the last part that they should cross, and now if I forgive them, they're gonna do that again and again and again until they realize what they lost. So now,
Yeah.
as a, does it sting to like, does it sting in your heart to make a good decisions, make a like a hard decisions of not being a pussy and tell her that I'm not gonna be with you? Does it hurt? Yeah, it does
Yeah,
fucking
it does
hurt.
hurt.
But that's what you do. Like, you make fucking good decisions in order to get
Not
out of certain situations.
and just don't let them control your life.
Yeah, like,
Because I have a saying that is like, don't let a person decide how your day is gonna be like.
100%. I cannot agree with that more, because I have been in love and you feel very, very bad about how a person can affect your day. Me personally, I'm very cheerful all day long. I never get almost negative. I can't remember last time when I felt negative. But when you're with someone whom you love, it's just fucking garbage. It just
Yeah,
like,
it is.
They do something and your day is whole shit. You just think about them like, oh, what the fuck did
Whole
she do? What
day,
the
and
fuck?
I would say whole week. And why?
Why
You
would you
have
give?
your own life, you have your parents who are counting on you, and you are just letting this person control your life. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Now here comes an important part.
Go earn some money, man.
Yeah. Now here comes an important question to me. What measures you would like to take in order to not get controlled? If somebody asked you that, let's say people who are watching, they might be like, oh, well, what these guys are talking about. They discussed a topic, they might move from a topic, and now the question remains, how can you not be controlled?
Just don't go to a mall.
That is true.
Don't go to a mall, man. Like, salesmen are being trained to persuade you to buy their product, and you will never know how they do it, and you will end up buying the stuff.
That is true. But let's say, in terms of emotional, in terms of mental, in terms of everything, if somebody asks you, or somebody asks you a
I
question
think
that,
I have a really good answer for this question. It goes like, you should you should be known of what you want, because if someone is trying to say that you want this, you want this, you will never be on your own self.
that is true.
Because when you know that you want this and this, you won't let anyone control yourself.
That
Be
would be one
clear
way.
about your intentions, your decisions, your wants, your needs.
I mean, how I do it is like, let's say if somebody's trying to really, really control you, then I would do it is like, the first thing I do is like, I step back from the place and look at the scenario as a third person. Like I would look at the scenario like, oh, what is happening? What is somebody trying to do? Like, is this an actual thing? Are they actually complimenting? Are they actually criticizing? Or they're just freaking messing around with you? Like they are just trying to control you with love bombing, trying to control you with like their words, or maybe whatever the fuck that is. So here, the first thing I would do is like watch the situation as a third person. Second thing, sometimes I also do that. You control someone by making them emotional. You trigger them. You say something that gets them triggered, and now you know their triggered point. Actually, I do that a lot, and I mean that I don't know how I got that skill, but that happens a lot. So I tend to trigger them, and once I find that point that where they break, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exploit it to my needs. Whenever I want something, I'm gonna exploit that point, and if not, I'm gonna keep finding the point until I get the point. So if I were you, thinking about like, oh, how can this person not control me, is like, never take anything personal. Never take anything personal, regardless of what that is. So if somebody compliments you, just say thank you. If somebody says
You're a piece of
bad,
shit.
just say thank you. If somebody says good thing, neutral thing, bad thing, never take anything personally. And don't take it personally from friends. Don't take it personally from women you've been with or you are with. Don't take personally from parents. Don't take anything personally in this world from someone except yourself. So if you know that this is going to be the scenario, that I'm doing this wrong, what your brain is saying, follow that, and also like contemplate, think for a while, and then make a good decision. Do not just follow somebody blindly like a dog, and just like, if they love bomb you, or if they shower you with love, or if they criticize you, do not take it personally. If I go to work And if some boss compliments me, I say thank you. And if some boss criticizes me, like, hey, you didn't do this, I'll correct it next time. And you move on.
Don't get into any argument.
Don't get into any arguments. Once you get into an argument with a
You
person,
are being controlled now.
you are being controlled. That is true.
Well, I have been victim of alarm as well, like couple of times, and now, like, I have learned the fact that how he does this,
Yeah.
and you, like, the best thing you can do is just ignore them.
Yeah. The best
Just
thing you
ignore
can
them.
do is like not take that personally, anything.
Yes,
And
and yeah, you were saying something.
And the third point I would like to say, the first point I said, watch as a third person. Second point I said was to
Don't take it personally.
don't take anything personally. Third point I would like to say, it's for the mass propaganda. Like for example, world level or maybe country level or maybe state level thing. Like it's a mass propaganda. How do you stop yourself from getting controlled in that scenario? I would suggest, to be honest, think everything critically. Even the things that you believe in, think them critically. For example, uh, I'm a Muslim, and do I not like Israel? Yeah, I don't like it. It's killing my own people, to be honest, like Palestinians and all Arab, like whatever they are killing. Do I like them? No. But as a person, do I just blindly say that I don't like them? No. Does what Hamas did on 7th of October, they killed innocent people. I don't know if they did or not. I have not been there. But as per the sources, everybody claims that happened. So I'm believing that happened, which I haven't seen from my eyes. But there are pretty much evidence what Israel did to the Palestine. They just bombarded the shit out of the thing, and now it's just a war zone. So do I think that Israel is an enemy and this should be done with it, this, that? No. I always think it critically. I look from both the side. Okay, like this happened. What should we have done? What should the thing would have done in retaliation? What Israel did, I think as a country, everybody has a right to like defend themselves, but nobody has a right to kill children.
Of course.
That's a very shameful thing to do. So I think critically. The third point would be always find a point against what you believe in.
Of course.
If you believe in, like, for example, something like anything, maybe why iPad is best compared to Samsung. So do you have any point where it is not best, where it is not better than it? If you have, then you won. You know what thinking critically means. But if you are blindsided by it, you're like, no, this thing is 100%, then I think there is some problem going on with that. And last thing I would like to add is,
be aware of yourself.
do not ever be overconfident. Like, if you are, never think yourself as, like, let's say you have been in love, and then after a while you think, no, I cannot be in love, I cannot be controlled, now I have grown up. No, you haven't.
You will end up in the same hole you had before.
It's gonna fuck you up again.
Yeah.
You are easily gonna get manipulated by that, and there is nothing you're gonna do. And then you're gonna cry again, the cycle is gonna repeat again. Then you'll come to this podcast, watch it again, and then you'll realize that, fuck, I messed up.
Of course.
So always remember 4 points. First, what was the first one?
Don't take it.
Watch as a third person.
Watch as a third person.
Don't take anything personally.
Yep.
The third point was, I forgot my points. Fuck.
Mess up.
First point was,
Okay. watch it as a third person. Second point was don't take it personally, and the third point was don't be overconfident was a fourth point.
What's the 4 point? So the third point was,
We have to watch the postcard.
I think so, yeah. Watch the podcast. We forgot actually. I'm just like making up as I go. I'm not. I'm right now. I'm just
We
thinking.
are not a philosopher, guys.
Yeah.
So we speak what we think.
Yeah. Whatever
And-
is coming to our minds right
Yeah,
now, we are
and
trying to
that's
convey.
what critical thinking is.
That is true. And by this, I think we have answered most of the questions that
And I think we should head to the conclusion as well, Paula, because
can a human be controlled? The conclusion is for a short period of time, yes, I believe.
Yes.
For a long generation, they're gonna rebel and they're gonna fuck you up.
Of
If you are
course.
being not nice to them, if I think you have been generous, you have been actually fighting for them, fighting for the cause, they're gonna remember you for a long time. I mean, I cannot be sure that your kid is gonna do the same thing. Your upcoming generations are gonna be as good as you. But if you are good to the people, they're gonna remember you. They might not remember your generations, but they'll remember you. Just how we remember like any person. So I think, yeah, in a short duration of time, with love and care, maybe in very short duration of time, manipulations, propaganda can also control you if you're very, very stupid, which most of the people are. So I think, yeah, in short term, you can be controlled.
And the harsh reality is that you are a consumer. You will always consume, and the system is made like this. But try to understand the fact that don't be a consumer, be a creator.
That is true. That's why we started doing podcasts.
Yeah,
See?
of course.
We are consuming all day long, and that what made us think that like we talk so nicely. Why not talk in front of people, right?
Yeah, of
So
course,
they can
why not?
also watch what we think, and they can also get something. They can maybe teach us something, or maybe we can teach them something, right?
Yeah, of course.
I read once in a book that it was a very nice thing to read. I don't know if it's true or not, but it was like I would have to think on it. It said what you feel like. Some people are natural content creators, some people are not, some people are natural consumers, some people do this, some people do that. But if you find your kick, let's say I like talking a lot.
Yeah, he does.
I like, we call it in Gujarati gyan chodu. Yeah, so I like that a lot, and so why not do it in front of people? And if you, some people are not meant to be that way, but I think you have to start creating rather than consuming in order to, because what you have is what you have. Am I copying someone?
No.
No, we are just getting a topic and starting what we think about it, dwelling on it until we reach a point of conclusion. But like, is it a creative thing? Yeah, we are creating as we go. We are not
Yeah.
like, we are not taking somebody else's podcast and just copying them, or we are creating some values into the community. So I think everyone should do that. Before we go, we would like to recommend you to start doing something of your own. Maybe stop consuming and start creating.
Yeah, of course. And oh shit, I forgot.
That's okay. Take your time.
I remember it. So one of the most prominent factor by which we are being controlled are the humans itself.
For
The
example,
humans around ourselves, our friends, our family, our colleagues, our co-workers, and our fellow classmates and whatnot. So my brother used to say that इंसान का नशा सबसे बड़ा नशा होता है. It is
the addiction
the
of
addiction
the,
of a human being is the most bad thing that can happen with you.
that is true.
So never be end up in the shithole.
And also cigarettes.
Yeah, of course.
You'll see soon in the next podcast. We'll be having cigars, so don't judge us. But this is
It is what it is.
yeah,
I mean,
that is true. With this, we should end our podcast.
yeah, of course. So
Let's see how we did.
yeah, of course, and let us know.
We'll
See
see
ya.
you